This is a story about the end of Gaddafi and where Libya has gone in the year since he died. And then, by chance, we happened to be there on September 11 when the horrible attacks at the consulate out in Benghazi took place. And so our story is partly about that.
This is what was left of the American consulate just 2 days after it was overrun in what the White House now admits was a pre-planned terrorist attack.
I got a call from another friend who said, hey, there's an opportunity to go meet the president of the country. So we said, sure, we'll take that opportunity. We went down, we met him, and one thing led to another, and the next thing we knew, we were on his plane, traveling with him to go to Benghazi to be with him as he toured the site of the attack. So we did that. We flew down there with him. The thing that sticks out in my mind is how personally devastated he was by this, that it seemed to really affect him on a deep level. He told me that he was friends with the ambassador, that he knew him, liked him, that the ambassador believed in his mission, that he was a man of the people, he liked to be out, liked to meet people. So I think for the president, this was, he had failed. He had personally failed his obligation to protect his friend, to keep his friend safe, and to do right unto people who he saw as doing right unto his country. So we arrived at the Benghazi compound, and it was still burning, which was sad and surprising. I did not see, I can't say certainly that they were not there, but I didn't see any Americans there, which surprised me. I would have expected Marines to be there or some kind of a force to come in and take control of the site. I didn't see it. And I think the thing to me that sort of resonated the most, that hit me most deeply, was a plate of cookies that was in the kitchen, which, you know, you walk through this burned, still smoking wreckage of a kitchen, charred wreckage of a kitchen, and sitting on the counter was a plate of cookies. Looked like it was just ready to be served. Looked delicious, and the only thing that was wrong with it was the saran wrap had melted. You could see that the edge of the saran wrap was melted, and I don't know why that picture, that image stuck with me. I thought it was sort of like a life interrupted. Maybe it's a mistake, but I felt exceedingly safe. I felt welcomed. We ate in restaurants without fear. I took taxi cabs by myself. A long time ago, I studied Arabic, and so I have a little bit, somewhat of a working knowledge of Arabic. I was able to jump in cabs, speak to cab drivers in Arabic, tell them where I was going. They would ask me questions. I would say I was an American, and I did it without fear. Something you would never do in a place like Baghdad or many of the other war zones that we visited. So I felt exceedingly safe until September 11th. And we didn't know what had happened. We didn't know how it had happened. Obviously we were shocked and dismayed and grieving as Americans, but we were also a little scared. If a consulate could be overrun, maybe a hotel could too. Maybe these people are organized. Maybe they're out looking for Americans. And it's it's nothing to make you stop and go home, but it's a little scary. I think overall my impression was very favorable. This feels like a place that was headed towards healing itself, headed towards a new chapter. There are pockets of territory that are controlled by various rebel groups, that are still controlled by various rebel groups. But you know, it felt like it felt extremely open to the West. You could see signs of some business development. You would be talking to people who were bankers or oil people who have come into the country because they think there's investment there are deals to be done there. And all that felt very favorable. It felt extremely pro-American, pro-NATO, and friendly, hospitable. So, I mean, that was certainly my impression until September 11th. And I think, you know, the September 11th thing felt like an anomaly. It felt like a horrible, tragic anomaly.